here today at Wizardly Reads to discuss chapters 8 and 9 of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. How are you guys feeling about these chapters?
Fun. Yes. Let us know what you thought.
Tell us in the comments. We'll call them out and answer them in real time.
There we go. Comments up and running.
All right. There we
Okay.
go. We've got some helpers here today. We've got our lucky little owl. And our potions jar. So chapter 8.
The
Potions Master.
Mhm.
Yes.
Or do we answer our questions from last time? Favorite spell?
Yeah,
Oh,
we can do
okay.
that too.
Yeah, we'll do that first.
Mm-hmm.
Let's answer those questions from last time. What was your favorite spell? If you could make one up, what would it be about? What was your favorite spell?
I couldn't make one up.
You
I
couldn't
couldn't
make
make
one
one
up?
up. No. I just went for Wingardium Leviosa. It's my
Leviosa.
favorite. I don't know. The ability to make things fly. Or technically levitate, but close enough. I mean, that would be so useful. The ability to just go and, the thing you want all the way across the room would be
Would
in your
just-
hand.
Mhm, it would be like using the Force.
I would be okay with that.
Now that would be Accio.
Oh, yeah.
But I came up with a spell. It would be, let's see. It was Houses Clinicus.
Yes.
Yes. Where, the vacuum cleaner would run over the rug and and the broom would just sweep by itself and I could just sit and watch.
Yes,
There
you
you
have
go.
to watch, though, because we all know what happens if you walk away from that spell.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mickey learned very well what happens when you walk away from that spell.
So that was mine.
And mine was similar. Scourgify.
There you go. Yep.
That's my favorite because you
Yes.
just point it and then immediately what you're pointing at is clean.
Yep.
And the other one was Chocolate Frog cards.
Right. So did
Mm.
anyone make a chocolate frog card? I was unable to see any. So if you did make any and you posted them online, go ahead and tell me about it in the comments, and I'll see if I can find yours in particular.
Mhm. All right.
I don't know. I put down some hobbies, but that was about it.
Oh, okay.
Reading, sewing, and under handcraft, and then, listening to music or watching LPs. Just not a party girl. Hate to break it to everybody. I already know that.
And you, Katie?
Oh, mine would be voiceover acting,
There you go.
and I love reading. I love learning about new things and new mysterious things in the universe and on this earth. Love it. So that's my hobbies. And of course, playing with animals.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I kept my my wizarding name, Anastasia Albatross.
There you go.
And I put paper chain maker, paper wreath maker, and all around library, taskmaster,
Yes.
enthusiast.
Yes.
And
All
that's all I
right.
had.
Now to the Potions Master.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's see if we can find.
Right there.
Yeah,
I'm
I think we
okay.
have a pretty interesting picture of the Potions Master.
Ooh.
That's terrifying.
Yes.
If my teacher looked like that, I
Woo.
would probably try and find a different class.
Although with the way it works out, that's the only person who teaches it, and you have to take it, and
Yeah.
that's how that normally works
Yeah.
out with those classes. Let's start with that one then. Do you have any teachers that would be like the Hogwarts teachers? Have you had any?
Oh,
You
wow.
guys go first.
No names for the safety of the
No names. No
or
names.
non-innocent.
Okay.
I've had the teacher that will, if you were one group, you passed, and if you were another group, another house, you failed. And it's particularly obviously because she taught math, and I had A's from kindergarten to college calculus, except for that one class. I nearly failed.
Mm.
I was in the wrong house that day.
Oh, wrong house.
Yep, wrong house.
Wow.
And I've had the McGonagall. I've had.
Yes, I've had the McGonagalls, yes, but they're the best teachers. They really are.
They are.
Because they keep your attention focused on the subject, and you really learn things from them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you dare not talk.
Well, funnily enough, I had a oh, no, I've already forgotten her name. She was right on the tip of my
no
tongue.
names.
No, the name of the teacher, Professor Sprout. There we go.
Okay.
Is it Pomona?
yes,
Sprout.
Pomona Sprout. Yes.
I had a teacher that encompassed Pomona Sprout when I was in high school, and funnily enough, she was the biology teacher.
Oh.
So it was kind of perfect.
Yes.
She was awesome. I would call you out, but we've decided no names, so I'll just probably call you out on Facebook later and tag you in it.
Which of the teachers or subjects would you be more interested in learning more about, and why?
Oh.
I'm gonna go back to biology. I wish that I had known more about the plant side, herbology, that type of thing. I wish we had delved deeper into that and had the opportunity to do so when I was in high school, because now I love gardening and I know nothing about it, so it's all trial and error.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is this poisonous? No, let's not touch it.
Yeah, exactly. Should I dig that up and move it?
Yeah.
Probably not. I'm gonna do it anyway.
I think we did the entire phylum of plants when I was in middle school. But how much of it I remember? Yeah, no.
So you guys let us know, have you had any teachers that were like any of the ones at Hogwarts? Let us know in the comments.
I would be interested in learning potions. I liked chemistry. I don't know
I
if I would.
liked chemistry too.
And
I
I'm
was
usually
thinking-
pretty decent at not allowing a teacher to affect me. Because I had one in college. He was the one where you either, passed his classes and learned how to deal with him, or change your major. He was that teacher. Every
wow.
discipline
I
has
had
that
one.
teacher.
I had one.
Every major has that one teacher.
Mm.
And he was that teacher, and he was trying to throw us off one day, and I just remember I had figured out what he was doing already, and he came up, and I didn't let him throw me off, and he was like, and this is why she gets an extra point.
Nice, very
I
nice.
think once I figured out what Snape was doing, I'd just be like, I'm just gonna make my potion, and
Well, I will say too, we have not gotten quite to this one in the book, but just I'm sure that if you are a Harry Potter fan, that you know a little bit about Care of Magical Creatures,
Yes.
and the future teacher. I had the opposite, and we had to take care of pigeons. And as we have discussed before, I'm terrified of birds, so that was not a fun experience. So yeah, I've had both sides of the spectrum.
And pigeons are just not that clean.
Mine was probably fine. My lab partner loved the bird. The bird's name was Archimedes. We named it Archimedes, Archie for short. Yeah, it was a great bird. I was terrified of it.
Which subject for you, Katie?
I actually loved geography as well.
Ooh.
I really liked everything about all the different layers of Earth and what could be discovered in the different strata, and
But that's
yeah,
not
it was
something
just-
taught at Hogwarts. That could be
Oh,
actually a
you
whole-
mean you mean from Hogwarts?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ah.
Which Hogwarts
Well,
teacher or
biology
subject?
isn't really in Hogwarts either, so I thought you were just saying about general subjects at school.
I think we did verge onto
I-
general subjects a little bit.
Yes. My favorite, I think, would be Transfiguration.
Turning one thing into another.
Yes, I would love that. Love that.
I would have wanted to learn Defense Against the Dark Arts.
Oh, yeah. Well, that would be probably number one, but...
It actually could almost lead to a discussion on, is that some of the reason why wizards are so obvious? In other words, which we're not to yet, in the Muggle world, because, they don't learn
Yeah.
things that in theory you're supposed to basically know. Because they manage money, but
Some of them manage
yeah,
money.
some of them, but you're supposed to maybe know why the sun comes up every day.
Magic.
They don't cover
Magic.
that.
That's the answer for everything, right? Magic.
That's right.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yep.
Oh, we got a comment. What have we got here?
Charms and potions from Hannah. Can't read that far. Bins. Bivins.
Thanks,
Bivins.
Hannah. Oh, okay. So that's
Okay.
that's something that we didn't touch on. Oh, you did say potions.
I
a
did
little
say
bit.
potions.
Yes.
I wouldn't mind learning. Maybe not touching some of the things in the jars, but that's when you have the that's when you go off of a,
Well, that's when you get a partner like Hannah
Yeah.
who's really interested in the subject.
yeah. I'd be interested. I'd just be like, where's a set of gloves? Where are those dragon gloves that we bring to class? Let's not touch
Yes.
whatever that is.
And then charms. So, do we have anything to kind of equate charms with?
Well, transfiguration is changing something to something else. Charms is affecting properties, changing color, changing size.
So, is that
there-
more of a chemistry thing
is
than
there-
potions?
Well, no.
Is there a Muggle equivalent?
Yes. Hair color.
Oh,
There you go.
Interesting.
I think is it Ron who gets the mustache and
And the
Harry
beard.
gets the yellow eyebrow?
Oh, yeah, that is in
I think.
charms.
I think.
Mhm,
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Because Luna's like, should I dye my
That's
eyebrow
right.
too? We'll get to that later if you're
Yeah.
a first
Punch
time
your books
reader.
away. It's not in this one.
No, that's not.
But yeah,
That's
charms,
high-level magic.
charms is
Yeah.
definitely not a soft option.
No.
So
no,
yeah, for sure.
No. That's right.
All right, what's our
let's
next
see.
question?
What do you think of the moving portraits, etc.? Would it make Hogwarts the hardest school to get around? I think they need an orientation. If it takes a week to figure out how to get to the food.
Yes, I feel like that is their orientation. I don't really feel like they get graded in the first week. I think most of the time it's just, here, you guys do this, and then they just kind of see where they're at.
Yeah, and you have moving staircases, and then you think, wait a minute, should I go left by this painting? But then there's nobody in the painting, or there's someone else in the painting,
Or multiple people that don't
Yes.
belong in the painting.
and
the
you
painting.
go, where am I?
I would get stopped. I would get so far in and just start asking questions like, what is it like being a painting in Hogwarts? How long have you been here? How many different paintings have you been in?
Well,
Who's
some
your
we
best
know.
painting friend?
Well, some we know because the movie famously has Anne Boleyn
It does.
in the Great Hall, as well as several other people that you're supposed to recognize on
Yeah.
site. But Anne Boleyn, we know how long she's been there.
A while.
Just a little.
Yeah. A bit.
So what about you, Hannah, and everybody else who's watching? Let us know how you feel about the Hogwarts portraits. And do they need orientation? Do the students need orientation?
I think so. Yeah.
A week to find the food. That's just wrong.
I
You should
feel
always know how to feed yourself.
Right. And I feel like Muggle parents should be able to come and like kind of see what their kids are doing, because all the Wizard parents who have been there or who went to a different school, they're all, this is old news to them. They know what's up. But the Muggle parents are like, okay, I'm just gonna send you this place that I've never seen before, never heard of. I've only known about it for a month. My parents would not have let me go. They would have been like, no, we gotta go too. I would have had them as compartment mates on the train.
Well, they may have gotten to know a little bit when they would have gone with you to Diagon Alley to get all the stuff you needed for the school.
Right.
So a little bit more introduction to, the whole wizarding world.
Yeah, I don't think we're ever introduced to what actually happens to the Muggle students, because
I do think we have a little bit of a Muggle-born student orientation, but not in this book. It's in a later book that we learn
Yeah.
about that. I think it's in the 6th book when we learn about Tom Riddle, who you guys will learn
Yes.
about later if you have not read thus far. And his somewhat orientation
Yeah.
to the wizarding world.
Somewhat.
Somewhat. we learn a little bit.
Of course, I'd love to have Hagrid show me around. Yes, like he did with Harry.
Could you just imagine? You could just jump in one of his pockets
Yes.
and just ride around like you're hanging out the side of a bus, just looking at everything, trying not to squash a rock cake under
Yeah.
your foot.
Yep.
Or whatever else might be in there.
Yeah, or whatever.
So would you have tea with Hagrid? Blah blah.
Hagrid. Tea
Hagrid.
with Hagrid.
Yes.
Tea, yes.
Rock
Yes.
cake? No.
No.
Not if you want to go right back to the dentist or visit, you know, I
Can
guess.
she do well?
I don't know.
Can she do
Does-
teeth?
She can
Yes,
do teeth.
She does.
There's a difference between that and putting teeth back in, though.
I don't know, they're
I don't
bones. They can
know.
regrow. So we're talking about Madame Pomfrey.
Yes.
In case you're wondering at this point, we're wondering if she can put our teeth back together after we try one of Hagrid's rock cakes. I think she could. I think that if she
Probably.
can mend bones,
Yeah,
Yes.
she mended the
could
wrist
probably.
in what, 2 seconds or
Yeah.
a minute or something.
Yes.
something like that, she can regrow them. It takes a little bit longer, but
Yeah.
it's a lot more painful apparently. But we'll learn about that later.
Yes.
Um,
Something to look forward to.
Oh, for sure. So the rock cakes. I wonder if they're like biscotti. So if he had served them coffee, if they could have just kind of
Well, they
dunked
could have
the rock
dunked it
cake.
in the tea.
See, I'm not about that life. I cannot do dunking a pastry or anything sweet in my tea. But I'm sure I drink tea a little differently than you do. I'm not very well versed in tea. I think I have 2 kinds that I actually like,
Well,
and I have not tried many more.
I know I drink tea wrong to the British because when I visit my British relatives, they'll set all the cups out, while the tea is heating, take the milk, pop, 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 and do all the and I have to snitch my cup away and move it because I can't do the
Like
milk
a
in there.
seeker? You snitch it
Oh,
like a
see,
seeker?
Yeah, pretty
I-
much. I pull it away, and then so I drink my tea strong, even for a Brit.
I have got to have milk in my tea. Yes.
No.
Unless it's green tea, that's different.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
doesn't taste good with milk in it. Although the Japanese tea is green tea, and it has
Mm-hmm.
it's not milk though; it's something else in there.
I don't
'Cause
know.
they
know.
foam it up and make it kind of milky, but it's not milk in there because I don't drink milk. But I can't remember what it is. But it's not straight green tea, the Japanese tea.
Now I'm thinking about bubble tea with the tapioca balls in the bottom. What about you guys? Do you guys have any maybe give me some suggestions, because obviously I don't know how to drink tea. Margaret over here showing off. She knows how to drink tea.
Tea in my little covered cup there for safety. Keep the electronics safe.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see here. And why is Peeves even allowed to stay at Hogwarts if he makes life hard for everyone?
I'm going to let you guys talk about this first.
From first years to Professor McGonagall in chapter.
Do we
In
have
the
a
next chapter.
picture of Peeves?
I don't know.
He might be in
Oh.
the sword. There's Hagrid's house.
So we missed Hagrid's house. Oh my gosh, you guys. Amazing. Check that out.
Barrel.
Yes,
He lives in a barrel. There's a joke there.
That's so cute. I love it. Alright. Tea at Hagrid's, and then I'm just gonna flip to see what we missed. And then the Midnight Duel.
That's the
I want to
next
know what you
chapter,
guys
yeah.
thought when you saw that chapter title, because all at once we go from new school, new things, new classes to dueling at midnight. What is this even about?
Boys will be boys.
Oh, will they?
Yes.
Well, Hermione
But-
will be Hermione as well.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Lorian coming in, clutch right here, and trying to save Gryffindor house. What have we got here?
But that's
Malfoy
Malfoy
with the-
stealing the remember all.
All right, so let's see what our next question was before we get ahead of ourselves.
We didn't answer Peeves.
Peeves. Okay, so we were
Ah.
talking about Peeves. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for
I
a
think
picture.
he might be in the Sorting Hat one. I think he might be back.
Yeah, he might
I
be.
think he might be back.
Okay,
Oh,
so
there's
that's Sir Nicholas.
Nope. I think he's in here somewhere. Peeves, where are you?
We did see him. Ah. Which one did we think was Peeves?
Don't think it was any of them, but there's a picture somewhere of him
I
with
know
his
we
little
have one.
his little sticks.
I don't know.
What is this guy? Oh, I found him.
Yeah, that's probably Peeves,
yes.
So I have found Peeves for you guys. I'm gonna kind of get a little closer so you can see. He looks like a clown. So any of you who have read It, you're giving me some It vibes.
Yeah, I'm okay.
So why is Peeves allowed to stay? What do you guys think?
Well, if he's a true poltergeist, he's linked to the building, and they can't get rid of him no matter what.
Yes.
A true poltergeist.
And I-
poltergeist.
Right.
Linked to
and
the
he's,
building.
Linked to the
he's
buildings.
really the only poltergeist that we know of at
Right.
Hogwarts that's ever mentioned. So.
Yeah. So there's a theory that I know about. That's why I wanted to let you guys go first. There's this theory that when you get that many children, teenagers with all the feelings and the, the learning the new things and all the anxiety in them, that it manifests in a poltergeist.
Ah.
And that is why they cannot get rid of Peeves. He always takes the same or similar form because he's always from the feelings and emotions of teenagers. So he's just a prankster and he goes back and forth on what he wants to do. So for 1 minute he's gonna tell Filch, and then the next minute he's playing a joke on Filch. He just can't make up his mind like a lot of teenagers. I know I often couldn't. I still can't. I'm gonna be honest about that. So that's one
I
theory.
didn't say it, but I thought
You knew. But yeah, that's the theory on Peeves, is that they can't kick him out, because if you kick him out, you have to kick all the students out, because that's how you get rid of him.
That could work.
I don't think so. I think
think
he's just, he was probably a kid who ended up getting into an awful lot of trouble at one point,
Oh.
and whatever happened, he never left Hogwarts. But he was just wanting to cause trouble all the time.
Oh, that would be so much fun, though. If you could do anything that, like, kind of popped into your head and just, like, forever just be, not have to worry about anything, but, like, just play the little jokes that pop into your head.
Yep.
Not giving anyone any ideas. Don't do that at home, kids.
Or in school.
Or in school. Don't do it at school.
No.
Okay, and the last question has to do with the break-in at Gringotts, which we cover on the
Yes.
very last page of the chapter.
Alright.
That was the
And there's no
potions
picture
master still.
Here.
There's no
Going
picture
past
there.
that again.
Oh,
Potion
Yep,
master
we have
still.
to go back.
we're gonna flip. Oh, go ahead.
One more question in chapter. There we go. Break-in.
Haha.
Hagrid
Yes.
removed a secret package from the Gringotts before someone broke in. What is in the package now? If it was the only thing in the vault and it was high security, and
Yep.
what else is it? Not telling you it's in there, so keep your nose out.
Oh, you gotta love goblins. They know exactly what to do to tell us not to pay
Yes.
attention to what they're doing.
And there's a very important date that happened. It
Yes.
was on the 31st of July.
Isn't that Harry's birthday?
That's right.
Harry's birthday.
And that was the day he was there with Hagrid. So,
And the vault that Hagrid emptied while they were there, that was the only thing there.
that's right.
So what
So-
could it possibly be?
What's in the package? I don't
Nobody
know.
knows.
Is it our prize? For those of you who post something online and tag us in it, you can be entered to win a prize, which is Albus Dumbledore milk chocolate wand. It's the Elder Wand. So, does anyone want to try and get it closer to the... That way you can see it. So, post something on Facebook and you will be entered to a drawing to possibly win this. You have to tag us in it, and you have to mention Wizardly Reads. That's all you have to do. And we're also going to add you if you comment. If you are in the comments, we're going to add you to that drawing. So let us know what you're thinking. That way we can possibly give you a prize.
Yes. All
Okay,
right.
And then Midnight Duel.
Oh, that's this guy.
Chapter 9.
Yep. Let's start with poor Neville. Everything seems to happen to him.
Poor guy.
Discuss.
Oh, I know that feeling, though. I often feel like the Neville in the group. Everything seems to happen to me.
Yeah.
The actor turned out well, though.
He did. He
Yes.
what's the term? He long bottomed.
Yes, he got his own verb now.
He does. He has his own verb.
Well,
But before then, poor little Neville.
yeah. Oh yes. What was it? The guy who played Draco Malfoy is the oldest of the children.
Yeah.
Children. And he posted a thing saying, I'm so old. Next to a picture of himself.
Oh,
And
he's
to be
a-
fair, it wasn't a very good photo of him.
No.
But he posted himself when he was like 11 or 12.
Mhm.
And I think Matthew Lewis wrote back and said, "Speak for yourself, sweetie."
Yeah, no, it was mate. Speak for yourself, mate. And I thought that was like the most British thing ever.
And posted his rather famous photo.
Yes.
Reposted.
And then he posted other pictures of what he does just in his daily life, and I was like, oh, I'd love to have his life. That'd be great.
To which I think Tom Felton just went like, whatever. Because
And then-
they're good friends, so they're just like, he's just like, whatever.
And did you see the end of it?
What did
There was
he
a
say?
picture of them hugging,
Yes.
and he was like, I still think you're beautiful.
Yeah, you either see that cast seemed to have either gotten on really well or had vanished off. Really, they.
Yeah.
Then
But
again.
that friendship, I think it's pretty good.
Okay, so everything happens to Neville. Yes, everything happens.
Everything
Poor Neville.
happens to Neville. I mean,
Poor
really.
Neville.
Poor
It's
Neville.
got the the list. Is it in there, or is it the sorting one
What
where
is this
everything that happened to him before he did magic, thrown off a pier and dropped out a window,
Oh, yeah.
and
They didn't think he was magic enough to come
That's
to
right.
Hogwarts.
That's right.
Until his uncle hung him out a window.
That's right.
and he bounced.
And he
And he
bounced.
bounced. Was it a second story window?
Yeah, yeah,
And what was it? The uncle got distracted?
Yeah.
And that's why he dropped.
yeah. Dropped him out a window. Whoops.
Oh.
Oh well.
My parents would be livid. Okay, so we don't have a picture of Neville in here just yet,
No.
but maybe one day.
There you go.
So
Stay
I'm
on
just
the
gonna show.
Yeah, stay on the remember all for a second.
Yes.
Is Neville's grandmother helping or harming him by giving the remember all? I think it would be unhelpful because you forgot something, but it doesn't tell you what. It's not that helpful.
She meant it well. I hope.
Yes,
I think she
she
did. Maybe.
did.
Maybe she
It
should
was
have.
to maybe remind him
Yeah.
that there was something he'd forgotten.
Yeah, but she knows him. She knows he's always forgotten something. Well, maybe it's something that she should have put a note. Hold this in the morning when you first wake up to see if there's anything that you've forgotten,
That's
and then maybe ask your friends if you've forgotten anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then it promptly gets stolen.
Yeah, immediately.
Ah.
Immediately.
Well, what happens to Neville when they do their first flying lesson on the broomsticks?
Poor guy.
Yeah.
He
Once
got
again,
too
everything
excited.
happens to Neville.
And-
A little too excited, poor Neville. He jumped a little too soon, a little too hard,
and the broomstick just went,
yeah, it did.
and of course Neville falls off.
Yep.
Breaks his wrist. Poor guy. Poor guy.
Oh.
But then Malfoy thinks it's his turn with the remember all, and he thinks he's gonna hide it from Neville. This poor kid who just fell off a broom because he can't ride it very well, and he's gonna go hide it somewhere where poor Neville will need a broom to get it.
Yep.
That's just mean.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But then we find something out about Harry.
Yep.
He's a natural.
Doesn't need to know how to fly. He can already do it.
He knows. Yep.
So tell us in the comments, are you a natural at anything? Does anything just come naturally to you? What about you guys? Does anything just come naturally?
Math.
Math?
I can.
That's lucky.
I can't do anything from English and languages, but I can do math without. I can even understand the Common Core math.
Wow, okay. All right.
Well, it's a thing called mental blocking. It's how people who do math mentally usually do it. They break it up into things they can do easily. It just
Mhm.
looks just crazy written down.
It
just
does.
It
It
looks
does.
just mildly insane. But yeah, But yeah, it's how you do math quickly.
Well, that's pretty great.
Wow.
Katie can tell you I can do math.
Yeah.
Other end of the store, someone's asking a question and they're
She's going, eh.
and they're like, okay,
Yeah.
you're weird.
Well, hey, I mean, that's your thing. What about you?
I can pretty much talk to any and all animals.
Oh, okay.
They all
You're
want-
animal whisperer.
Yes, they all want to be friends with me, including even when I ride the mower. I usually have grasshoppers and probably a couple of katydids, and I have dragonflies that'll sit on me, and they will just sit. They don't go away. They just sit there. So I go, okay.
So you're a Disney princess, is what you're telling us. Forever in my mind, Katie is a Disney princess from here on out. I'm pretty teachable. I feel like that's my thing. Like I can pick things up pretty easily. I just kind of take to something new, and I think that's my thing.
That's a great thing to have. Yeah.
Just as technology keeps changing.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a wild ride.
I know I was talking to one friend of mine who's in technology, and I was like, okay, in our lifetimes, did we go from Walkman to R2-D2s? And she's like, yes. Yes, we did.
Real life
That's
R2-D2.
about exactly it.
So if you're feeling like you're struggling with technology, don't feel bad. We've literally jumped like a couple hundred years in the past 2 decades.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was in technology, and she said, yeah, we've gone from Walkmans to R2-D2s.
Here is your validation. You are not behind. Everything's just going really fast.
Let's see here. So, since we've talked about Draco leaving, remember all's up in trees that someone who can't fly has to go get. Who is worse, Malfoy or Dudley?
Ooh.
Malfoy, because he has magic too on top of being mean and being taught to be mean. He's aided with just these abilities, and Dudley was kind of slow to pick up on things.
True.
And all he had was his fists.
Yep.
Draco can do.
Draco has a brain.
Oh.
Yes.
So I think he's worse. I think he's worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not a
General
nice little boy.
No.
He's like not a nice little boy.
Not the best. Not the best. Not a role model, you guys.
No.
Okay. So can the Quidditch brooms sense fear?
Hmm.
They only liked Harry and Draco, if I remember
Draco.
correctly.
I think so. I
Like a
think
horse, they can
because-
sense fear.
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna
They
say
can
like
feel
a
it.
wand. They can sense
Mm-hmm.
hesitation,
Yeah.
and they can sense a wizard's feelings. I guess
Mm-hmm.
maybe they're like wands.
Yeah.
I
So they're
wonder
made
if
out of wand wood.
But
they might be made out of wand woods. That would explain a lot. I wonder if they have cores.
oh wow.
That's interesting
Mm.
to think about.
That would be very, yeah. How would you even? That's a real long unicorn hair.
Yes, it is.
But
Or-
it might be a long tail hair from a unicorn.
It might be. Or what if they have a different wood as their core? So like vine wood, maybe.
Mm.
Just 2 different woods or multiple
know.
woods put together.
And what twigs would you put on the end of your broom?
Yeah, right. What
Mhm.
kind of twigs? I think I would put twigs that still have a little bit of leaves on them.
Mm-hmm.
That way it's pretty.
I guess it would depend what I was using it for. International travel, you would need, something you could actually kind of, almost like a magic carpet, where you could kind of spread out, have room.
Right. Or have like hooks on the bottom where you can like
Hang your
your
luggage.
stuff.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, has anyone seen that? I saw that the other day. I was like, that's really cool. It's not going to happen, sadly, because I don't think they can get the plane emptied in enough time. But
Oh, I thought
There's
you were going
a-
to say, has anyone seen you with the broom?
no,
I was
and the
really
luggage?
excited.
Yes, you have. Several of them, to be fair. But there's a new design for plane seats where you've got one seat on the bottom, and then like bunk beds, a seat on the top, and then the luggage. Each of the seats has a little place you can put your hand, like right here, and you can stick the luggage in the little compartment. But yeah, it's like a double-decker seats on planes, and then the luggage all goes in the little compartments because they take out the overhead bins for that second seat.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but they have to be able to evacuate the plane in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So, by federal law and international law as well, I think, actually. So, this unfortunately may not happen, but I was like, that looks so comfortable because the seats had little under things you could pull out and pop up. So you had the whole little area, that whole little area, seat area was yours to kind
You
of
got
lay in.
privacy.
Yeah,
Wow,
and a place to lay
okay.
down without completely laying on somebody else.
Yeah, that would be. You know, I have not been in a plane since I was 3, so I don't have much to other than, you know, TV shows. I don't have much to compare this to. But that sounds more fun than what my experience was. I was 3, so of course I was very loud.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When I was about 18 months old, my parents got. I don't think it was my first transatlantic, but one of the first. My parents got the seats on either side, and the middle seat was hopefully going to be empty for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, someone promptly sat there, and they were okay until they got in the air, and my mom passed me over to my dad, and he realized he was between 2 adults, 2 parents.
Uh-huh.
No one had ever moved so fast in their lives. So I got my own little seat.
Nice, very nice.
Because he had to be moved so fast. So yeah, apparently I just sat. But I was not the crying baby. I was not allowed to be.
I think I was probably just asking everybody questions. That was usually my MO. Was just like, hey, what are you doing? Who are you? Hi, I'm Mandy.
And your mom's like, let's move you to the window. Here,
Yeah.
let them look back.
Hi, look at the clouds.
What's that cloud? Yeah.
No, keep watching Cloud.
Yeah.
Follow the bird.
Yeah. I'm terrified of the birds.
But you would be watching it, to be fair.
I would be. I'd be keeping my eye on that thing.
Let's see here. Here we go. Why was the password to the Gryffindor common room changed to Pig Snout? It's only been about a month of school. What could have possibly happened to get it changed so fast? Because usually you don't change passwords that quickly. Usually. Unless Google says
know.
change your password.
Yeah, unless Google says, then you do it. I don't know what would have happened. Well, we know that Neville forgot.
Yep.
So maybe someone forgot the last password, or multiple people forgot it because it was difficult to remember, or something.
I don't know. It was
But maybe it
Capricornus.
was also the forbidden room up on the 3rd corridor. Remember, the whole 3rd corridor was forbidden
Yeah.
to go. So maybe there's something going on at Hogwarts that nobody knows about, and they just wanted to do that to be safe.
Just to keep it switching up. That way the kids are on their toes and more worried about what the password is than what's behind that door, maybe.
I don't know.
Interesting.
We
Maybe
don't know.
Fred and George did something.
Ah, well, that's always
That's
a
likely.
possible. Yes.
Always a possibility.
Oh,
Definitely.
I don't think we're ever told if they try and break in that door. I'm sure they do.
Oh, I'm sure they walked in, pet Fluffy, and then walked right back out. In case you don't know, we'll talk about that name later. We don't know
Yes.
that name, but
Yeah, and somehow didn't get any. But yeah, no, they would do that.
for
Yeah.
sure. What if they told a first year of a different house the password to try and confuse them and play a joke?
Mm.
That
McGonagall
would
would
be.
kill them though if she
Well, I don't
actually
know.
found out that they gave away the password.
Well, if they didn't,
but
if she
I-
didn't know it was them, and
But
maybe
I don't
I think she could
Fred and
figure it out.
George would do that.
You don't think they would?
No.
I don't put anything past Fred and George.
Yeah.
Because if they're trying to create a diversion so that they can do something funnier or,
Yeah, but they
more
just make up
sneaky.
something. They
Yeah,
make up
yeah.
something. So I don't know.
What's your theory? Let us know.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's just a pop up. It'll be
Okay.
fine.
Okay. Go away. Not
Like,
now.
no, I can't see.
Not now.
Alright,
Go away.
Let's see, and then last question before projection is between the 2 dogs we meet in chapters 8 and 9, Fang and the 3-headed dog.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Which do you like more? And then what about Mrs. Norris?
Okay. Katie, you go first. You're the animal whisperer.
Well.
Katie wouldn't be bitten. The dog would just stand next to her and go, "You have treats."
You
have
know
treats.
you has treats.
That's what Poe does. Hello, Kitty. Treat, please. Follows her around the store waiting for treat to fall out of her. Fall from the sky.
Oh my gosh. The thing is, I'd probably take them all under my wing.
Yeah.
I'd say, hey, Fang, help me train, the 3-headed dog. and then I'd be nice to Mrs. Norris because she needs lots of love.
She
So,
does.
you know, I can't choose.
I do think she gets lots of love. I do think Filch is a very good cat owner. If he's,
Probably.
if
I'm
he's,
hoping
you know-
he is. I'm hoping he is.
I feel like he is. Even if he's
Yes, I
aggravating
think-
to the kids, I
I
feel
think
like
he loves his cat. Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Fang. I love Fang. 11. He's so sweet, but he's just a little extra cowardly.
Just don't expect him to save you from anything.
No,
No.
he's not gonna keep watch. He will bark at things,
Yep,
which is
but
good.
that's about it.
He will keep, what is it? He will keep your slippers safe, and that's
Yeah,
about it.
That's about it. That's about it. The three-headed dog, on the other hand, I think once that thing is trained up a bit, I think it'll be a very good guard dog.
Yes, he'll
be a good
definitely
guard
keep
dog.
you safe.
I don't know. I like the three-headed dog more than Fang in terms of just straight aesthetics, because he always reminds me of the Hades dog.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Whose name I can't remember all of a sudden. But
yeah.
Cerberus?
Cerberus?
Cerberus.
Yes.
Yeah, I always liked that dog in mythology.
Mhm.
That would be guarding Hades.
Yes.
Just a big dog.
Of course. Of course. Yep.
Mrs. Norris, I would not kick her. I do not do that to animals.
No.
Absolutely very good.
Do not
I-
kick cats.
No, I don't.
Or dogs or
Or
anything else.
dogs. Yeah, don't kick animals.
No. No.
But-
Or your sisters or your brothers. You
Don't kick anyone.
No, you don't need to kick.
Unless you're
No.
kickboxing, then that person has given explicit permission. That's different.
And if you're kicking a ball, that's
Yeah.
fine. Yes.
That's not a person. That's an inanimate
No,
object, and that's fine.
right.
But I would be with some of the students.
Just shoo away.
Shoo! I'm not doing anything because that cat stare of just kind of like, I know you're gonna do something. I know you're gonna do something.
Yeah,
It's like, okay, get away. I'm gonna stare at you till
Yeah,
you
but
can
see,
take pity.
I'd get her on my side.
Yeah.
So that way she
Treats.
wouldn't tell. Yep. Treats.
We never see her take a treat. Actually, I don't think they've ever. I don't think the
No.
twins thought of bribing her.
No.
Well,
Maybe she's unbribable.
maybe.
Maybe.
I'm not sure how many cats are unbribable.
All
but-
of my cats are bribable.
I took a picture last night of my two cats sitting, staring at me, waiting for the human food to drop on the floor. We starve, please feed.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
My bowl may be full, but my belly is empty, for all you know.
That's right. That's right.
And then the prediction is,
Flipping?
flipping to the next chapter. Maybe.
If
Are there any other pictures in there?
pages? I don't
No.
think so.
Nope.
So there's the.
Well, okay, the
they
Room
are
of the
trying to
Midnight
sneak.
Duel.
Yeah, they are trying to sneak. Who are that?
I don't know.
What duck went to Hogwarts?
Donald. Donald is the
Donald.
Hogwarts wizard.
And that one's headless.
Not Sir
Yes,
Nicholas.
it shows.
Nope.
Because
No.
nearly headless.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna scooch in a little bit so you guys can see what we're talking about. Maybe Sir Cadogan, but he's a painting. Maybe he's a painting of a real person.
And that last one's wearing it's a Superman.
Oh wow! It is. It's wearing undies outside its normal armor.
It's Superman. We're good. Kal-El went to Hogwarts. That explains
There
a great
we
deal.
go. There we go. All right, I'm gonna flip. And then we've
There's
got
Peeves
Peevesy.
again.
Yeah.
And then the end of the chapter and
Mhm.
prediction time.
Yep. Halloween. The next chapter is called Halloween. Modern Britain really doesn't celebrate. So why that chapter name? Why do we have a whole chapter on Halloween?
So we talked about how modern Britain doesn't really celebrate
Nope.
Halloween.
Nope.
In America, we do because we love dressing up like someone else,
Mhm.
and we love getting candy for no reason.
Mostly candy.
Mostly the candy. Mostly the candy.
So,
I
But
don't
that's
know.
that's going to be our next chapters coming up. So
Yep. Halloween, chapter 10 Halloween, and chapter 11 is... What's chapter 11? I think I remember. Quidditch.
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 yes.
Quidditch.
So those are the next two, and they will be because we're not having next
No.
week, which
Right.
is the
4th.
The 4th,
the
of,
4th
July.
of July.
Or it's the 3rd, actually.
Yes.
That Friday
Where
is the
it's
3rd of
the-
July, so we won't be meeting.
Yeah. So we will be meeting the 10th.
Right.
Yes.
So for my prediction, why it's called Halloween. So I think maybe Halloween is more important in, a pagan way, even if it's not specifically called Halloween in those religions or rituals. It's always a different name. But maybe because it's magic and wizards, maybe they just have a certain affinity for it. Or, 10 years ago, something important happened on Halloween in the wizarding world.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we can
Yeah.
talk about that later if we want to. But my question for next week is going to be, what do you think happened on Halloween 10 years prior to this Halloween in the wizarding world? If you know, go ahead and tell us in the comments. If you do not have that answer ready for next week to tell us.
Week after.
No, not.
Or sorry, in
Yeah,
2 weeks.
weeks.
In 2
2
weeks on the 10th. On the 10th. I got a little excited. Sorry, guys.
That's all my questions. Now, Halloween is a derivative of what was originally All Hallows Eve,
Yes.
which was a Catholic holiday before All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you go further back, it's,
So it was
the
always.
fairies world is close to the human world. but-
Right.
Sam Hewen? Is that
Right.
what it was called?
Yeah.
It was. But it was pretty much. It became a mix of pagan, Christian,
Right.
then sort of just a general fun holiday.
Yeah.
There we go.
A time
Yay.
to pretend like you're someone else.
Yeah.
Dress like someone else. Have a different identity for a
So
little
yeah,
while.
that could be it, because Hogwarts is a very old castle.
Yes.
Super
So
old.
they
Super
might
old.
still be living in the very old times.
Maybe.
Or keep those celebrations going. Yes.
For the next generation, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's always fun to know your history.
I mean, if you've had it 5, 6, 7, 800 years already or more, why not keep going?
right.
Because Hogwarts, yes, has been around, they guess around 1,000 years.
Right,
so
right.
Pretty old school. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's all my questions. Any other
Any
thoughts?
Nope, that was my only question. Was why is Halloween? What happened 10 years ago on Halloween from this time in the book?
All right.
I think that's it. All right. Well, thanks you guys for joining us today. Thanks, Hannah, for
And-
commenting. Go ahead. Kim.
And no, we will see you the 10th of July.
Yes, we
And have
will.
a happy and safe 4th of July weekend.
Have fun.
Bye.
Bye.